Hey guys, Heather Marchant. So excited to share with you a little bit today about reading your ingredient labels and seeing the difference in your whole grains versus just your white flours. So briefly, I'm not going to go into a ton of detail. If you want more information, message me. I'll be happy to share. So I've done some reading and studying on this. It's been important to me. So first of all, I'll probably talk about sprouted grains versus just regular whole wheat grains because it's part of the food plan that we have. So you have your Ezekiel tortillas, right? So they're Ezekiel 4:9 tortillas made by Food for Life. And Ezekiel tortillas I love because they're a complete protein. So they get their name because from the scripture from the Bible, where it says to combine these grains and make bread. That's basically all the verse says. And they sprouted the grains and did this, and they didn't really put anything else in there. I think there's maybe water, but they combined these and made a complete protein, which is pretty amazing. It's combining lentils basically and whole grains, sprouting them that they become a complete protein, which is awesome. It means it has all the amino acids. So that's pretty rare for a plant source to be a complete protein. I am mostly vegan, so I can have some fish and some poultry, but digestive problems cannot have any other sources of protein, including dairy. So that's obviously really important to me. So a couple things about sprouted grains. There's a chemical change that takes place. Carbohydrates are converted into simple sugars, and complex proteins are converted into simple amino acids, fats into fatty acids, so it makes them really easy to digest. So I actually make my own sprouts. Not all the time, but I actually just did a batch of 2 different kinds just a few weeks ago. Vitamins that were in trace amounts before sprouting are found often in abundance or larger amounts, such as like vitamin C and folic acid are probably the most common from sprouting. So that's a little bit about sprouted grains. That's why really we put it in the meal plan to have your sprouted grain tortillas. You can do whole wheat. It's still a better option than white flour. And even your raw tortillas that you buy at Costco or whatever, those are still a better option than getting some that are made with hydrogenated oils. I mean, you can always take small baby steps in making these changes in your life. So we're here to provide information though. That's one reason you guys join this group, I know, is to learn more about clean eating. Okay, last thing I'll share about is your whole grains versus your refined grains, and then refined sugars versus whole sugars. So when you mill wheat and make it into white flour, you're losing, I'm just going to briefly hit a couple of these, but like manganese, you lose 88% of manganese, you lose 80% of magnesium, you lose 77% of potassium, you lose 76% of iron, 72% of zinc. I mean, the list goes on, but you lose like 60% of your calcium that was once in the grain. So a lot of people ask me, how do you get your calcium? You don't eat dairy, and you must be having some real problems, and you must be anemic because you don't eat red meat. And I am usually in the men's level for iron, for my hematocrit. Whenever I get it checked when I give blood, I blow people away. And I think our food industry wants us to think that there's only one way to get these nutrients. And so plant-based diet, it's totally possible. There are some things, some tricks of the trade, but for the most part, it's totally possible. And then refining your sugars, you lose 99% of your magnesium. Most Americans are deficient in magnesium, significantly deficient in magnesium. It helps relax the body. It helps with sleep. It helps with bowel regulation. So magnesium is critical. And then you lose 98% of your zinc, which is so good for your immune system. And so the list goes on of what you're missing out on in eating white flour. So all of that will help you feel fuller as well. It will help you feel more satisfied. So clean eating is so much bigger than just, there's so much that goes into it that it's so exciting. When I got into the study of this several years ago, I found it exciting to see how I could nourish my body better by eating the same calories but providing more nourishment to myself. So we'll stop there. If you want more information, let me know. I'll make more videos about this, but wanted to kind of give you a snapshot.